If you're a man with big goals, big dreams, and aspirations, I promise you this video is going to be worth your time from start to finish. So please listen to it. I'm going to give you something to really ponder and process that will help you to optimize yourself towards reaching your goals and dreams faster with less bullshit. All right? So let's dive in. I hear so many men nowadays talking about all these esoteric things that have little to zero impact on practical reality. In fact, they might even hurt men's ability to actually effect their will and their desire into reality, aka accomplish the goal. Things like your masculine archetype. Are you a warrior, a king, a poet, a philosopher? Is your soul tethered or untethered? Look, I like a good esoteric book as much as the next guy. And sure, there can be some great food for thought when it comes to your overall spirituality. But listen up. If you're a man with goals and you can't explain to me the difference between how cash, capital, and profit operate in a business, all due respect, but what are you doing reading about untethered souls? You're untethered, all right, from reality. You're delusional as fuck. If you can't explain to me the difference between classic, Austrian, and Keynesian economics, what are you doing reading about whether you're a king or a philosopher or a poet or a warrior? What is that really going to do for you right now, here, today, to make you more valuable, to make you more effective, to make you more intelligent, to make you more competent and capable? If you can't explain to me, list out and explain to me the 16 most common logical fallacies, list them out, and then explain the basics of how each one may appear in life so that you know how to avoid falling into those 16 common basic thinking traps. What are you doing diving into content about law of attraction? Now, I'm not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. I'm saying very clearly, there is a time and place for spiritual growth. There is a bucket in life called your spiritual bucket. It is one that needs to be addressed, one that needs to be taken care of. But there's a big difference between your spirituality and just being mentally delusional in la la land fantasizing. What so many men seem to call nowadays visualization is really just them fantasizing. All personal development work comes back to that one word: work. Doing the work. Actually doing something. I feel like information obesity is a true epidemic in our culture, in our society nowadays. We have an epidemic, as a metaphor, of information and knowledge obesity, but yet we are results anorexic, skinnier than toothpicks. And the thing about the brain is, whatever you feed, you need. Think about that. It's like when people start a bad habit, you need bigger and bigger doses of it and hits of it in order to get the same high, right? Whether it's alcohol, whether it's some kind of drugs or stimulants, caffeine, right? Coffee. You need more and more. You need a bigger payload to get the same high. And a lot of personal development and even the masculinity space and the manosphere has turned into mental masturbation of just chasing the next little intellectual high, the next little dopamine hit of an insight. And so I see all these guys about every 6 months, 3 to 6 months, It's always they've discovered a new problem, a new insight, a new trauma. Oh, they need support in this area. Oh, they need to be seen. They're not being seen. They're not being acknowledged. All due respect, you haven't accomplished shit or done shit. So why should you be seen and why should you be acknowledged? This is some feminine chick thinking. This is how chicks think. When a chick talks like this, I have no problem with it. I'm talking to a girl. This is her natural state. But when a man talks like this, I feel like I'm just looking at a delusional cunt. What am I supposed to do with that? And this is an epidemic. All personal development circles back to the work, doing work, actually putting in work of building something. Discipline, habits, structure, systems, your daily alignment and congruence with becoming the version of you that would have the goals that you want as a simple byproduct of your identity, which is how things manifest, which is how law of attraction actually would work. So many things around personal development have been absolutely bastardized and turned into mental masturbation. And you see these guys go from one self-help trend to one guru to another, from one trend to another, and yet their life never actually measurably changes. The bank account doesn't get bigger. The body doesn't get fitter or healthier. Their relationships don't grow and expand and flourish. The Bible says, you shall know them by their fruits, aka their results. Show me your bank balance. Show me your credit score. Show me your health, physique, and strength. Show me the quality of your friendships as humans. Show me your girlfriend or wife and her quality. Show me how your kids are showing up in this world. Show me what 10 to 20 people would say about you in your community, and then we'll really see the results of how you are operating in this world. These guys. I'm a warrior king, and I've really been working on getting centered and healing trauma. And I just need to be seen and acknowledged right now. And I know I'm being corny, but fuck, I hear it all the time everywhere. Are you with me? Do you get what I'm saying? I'll wrap up with this. Feelings are liars. I have a good friend, a dear friend, and he's one of these types of guys. This is how he thinks. This is how he talks. This is his field of work, when he would even say. He works with men in the masculinity space. I love him dearly. I respect him as a human. I do not respect all of his perspectives, or I should say I respect his perspectives and his right to his perspectives. I don't agree with many of his perspectives. And we were once in a small back and forth debate in a group text thread about just what is the right kind of energy to bring out masculinity in men. And the position that was being taken is that I was being too old school, too old paradigm, too toxic, too tough or rough. And his phrases were, men need to be seen and acknowledged and supported. And they need to really look at their feelings. And the whole thing was about feelings. And my perspective is this. Fuck your feelings are liars. Here's why. If you were to put in maximum effort, eliminate all the distractions, all the bad habits, and all the vices out of your life for the next 6 months, as an example, and absolutely locked in, like a fucking pit bull on a stake, just locked in, right? Stay with me. If you were to do that, and let's say you were to double or triple the money in your bank account, get in the best shape of your life, pay off all your debts and bills, have a ton of extra money in the bank account, have the car that you want, have the chick that you want, etc., etc., etc. Tell me, would your feelings change? Of course they would. Do you see what I'm saying? All these guys are just circling around their feelings the way the children of Israel had to circle in the desert for 40 years and never enter the promised land. Do you get what I'm saying? Just this mental masturbation, this going in circles. And by the way, that is a metaphor in the Bible, is because the Bible says that the older generation had to die, and the new generation, the younger kids, when they grew up, they were the ones that were allowed to enter the promised land. Metaphorically, that means the old self-identity had to die, and the new self-identity, when it became big and strong enough and mature enough, it was able to take people to the promised land, aka take you to your goals. Constantly trying to see the feelings that you have now. If you're in a place, circumstances, in a state in your life where you might be getting your ass handed to you, you're not at your best, maybe you've been down in the dumps, stuck in a rut. Look, we've all been there. I've been there many times, right? But if you're in a situation like that, the last fucking thing you want to do is dwell on your feelings. Why? Because what you feed, you need. If you start dwelling on your feelings, what happens, you start needing more of figuring out your feelings. Like I mentioned earlier, you need more and more hits, a bigger and bigger payload of caffeine, alcohol, drugs, porn to feel that same high. And when it feels good to get these little dopamine hits and insights when we're in our feelings and reading these woo-woo books and all this esoteric stuff. But what happens is what you feed, you need. So now you need more of it. And this is how I hear guys 3, 4, 5 years later still talking about how they're uncovering childhood trauma and dealing with unresolved issues and finding closure and trying to get into the right vibration and mindset. Dog. Big dog. Big dog. Come on. Buckle up, Buttercup. You ain't going to build bigger muscles by mentally masturbating over fitness videos on YouTube and coming up with the best workout plan. Get you a basic plan, get your ass in the gym, work out and lift, eat right. That's how you get the body you want. Personal development, as a metaphor for personal development, you got to do the work, and then you do some learning along the way. Same thing with every area of life. What you feed is what you need. So if you start going down this road of all these different types of things that are just esoteric and all in the head, you end up needing more of that. You want to feed on more of that. But that just keeps you stuck in the exact same place in your life. Whereas if you just locked in for the next 6 months, did everything that you knew you were supposed to do, practiced more and more discipline and personal excellence every single day, indeed your personal best every single day, and showed up with maximum effort, and you sustain that for 6 months, your life would be in such a better place that your feelings would be fucking different. So why would you spend an extra ounce of energy, an extra minute of your time, an extra inch of your brain or spirit on dwelling on your feelings and thoughts right now if you're in a place where you don't want to be out in the proverbial desert when you want to be in the promised land? Stop fucking mentally masturbating, going in circles, and just lock in and go. Build a new identity through action, through consistency, through personal excellence, through discipline. By the time you get to the promised land 6 months later, guess what, big dog? You ain't even going to remember what the fuck you were feeling 6 months ago. It won't be relevant. You will have replaced the old stuff with new stuff. That's how it works. Change out your whole self-identity. It says in the Bible, you do not pour new wine into old wineskin. You don't pour new, fresh reality and new, tasty results into an old identity that's sitting and rotting and festering and brooding over, am I a poet or like a philosopher or like a king or like what? What is it? Dog, dial in, lock in, do the work. So, if you're a guy that's got big goals, big dreams, big aspirations, are you actually progressing, Or are you mentally masturbating and becoming information and knowledge obese and yet being results anorexic and skinnier than a toothpick? Because if you are, no wonder you're mentally frustrated. No wonder you're angry and upset. Thing is, it ain't no childhood trauma, homie. It's you. It's the way you're showing up. It's the way you're operating and the way you're not operating. So I repeat, if you don't know the difference between cash, capital, and profit, if you don't know the difference between classic, Keynesian, and Austrian economics, if you don't know what the 16 most common logical fallacies are and how they show up, if you don't know basics like that of how the world actually works, if you can't explain to me how Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs work, classic positive psychology 101, if you don't get concepts like that and don't understand how to implement them and apply them in your life, you need to understand the basics, learn the basics, and then you need to build a solid foundation of knowledge of the basics, and then stack a very long, good run of discipline, consistency, congruence, personal excellence, and doing your personal best, and doing everything that you know you need to do. And I promise you, my friend, your feelings will change. When you start delivering and producing all the results that you've been dreaming of, big dog, your feelings change. Right? When you go out and have a good night with friends, you feel good. When you've got some extra money in the bank account, you feel good. When you hook up with a 10 out of 10 hot chick or you get a hot new girlfriend, you feel good. Why? New experience, new results, new outcome. You earned something. You created something. You actually did something. You didn't just mentally masturbate. So get out of your head, get into your life, lock in, get after it.